Greetings, everyone. It is well a purpose night. May Day's Eve. And today, I would like to discuss the ritual that I did with Najih. So we summoned Lucifer. And he told me some very interesting things. And this is kind of a intro for that video. And yes, so we summoned Lucifer, and basically the video is going to show us chanting, and I drew a magic square of Lucifer, and anyway, we did some breath work together, and hopefully you guys get something out of this video. You know, especially people who are into the occult might be interested in it. But anyway, yes, so we did have a presence for sure, and yeah, that's kind of what happened. We summoned him, and he told me a lot of stuff, because Najih channeled him, so yeah, it's very cool.
In this moment, I invoke the malevolence of Lucifer, and I grant communion and consultation and connection with my energy, with yours. Give me the ability, grant me the ability, and I channel the ability to wear the deific mask of this primal entity. In this moment, I invoke you, Lucifer. Ashe.
Ashe.
So, I am going to actually get this now.
Yeah, we gotta do the breakfast.
Wow, this damn circle. Get this kundalini going. I don't know, put this on the carpet. Let's just get it right here between us so we can both get a whiff. Are you catching that? Not really. We'll light another coal.
Yeah, I can get some of that. You could just because the window's open too. But
That, yeah. Nah, I still need to light another coal. That one was starting to go out anyways, so. Alright.
oh yeah, now I'm good now. Ooh.
Oh shit. Hey, that's cool. That's saying on something.
That's wow.
Alright. Well, I'm all the way opened up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you have I'm putting it over here. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. There's a particular song that I be playing when I'm about to go into a deep breathwork session, and I'm about to get in tune. I do not expect you to breathe as long as I'm about to breathe. Only go up to the point at which you can go, and then just, you're gonna be waiting on me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna breathe through this whole particular song. So I'm about to be Kundalini fire breathing for about 4 minutes, give or take.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be in sync after that. So yeah, this is exactly 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get intense with it. You know, I don't expect you to go because this is advanced shit. One thing I will say, you probably heard me say this when we first started doing this together. When you're breathing, make sure you're expanding your stomach on the inhale and deflating your stomach on the exhale. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. Even if you stop going as fast, let's say you follow my lead at the beginning. If you start to slow down, or you need to stop, and then you, like, for lack of better words, start to pick up at your own pace. But wherever I'm at in the breath, even if you lose me, I'm still gonna continue on. So, yeah. So, point of reference.
Yeah.
Point of reference is this altar before us.
Okay.
You know, whatever you lock in is what you lock in on. I'm gonna be locking in on this, then I might look over there, but ultimately, I'm not gonna stop until I'm done with this breath. So I'm gonna start off slow, and then I'm gonna build up my pace. There's a certain point I'm gonna start.
That was amazing.
Okay. Oh man.
Man, I did the whole thing. That was amazing.
Okay, you were able to survive?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I felt like I was transforming, and I don't know. It was like I was in another world. I didn't even notice I was in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went into a different realm right now. We are breathing in the spirit, breathing in the energy of the Lucifer, of the primal black serpent. We present Kamash, and we give adoration
Yep.
and oh my goodness, adoration to Lucifer and Kamash. We invoke your spirit, we invoke your power. Ego invocare molebe lentiam Lucifer. Lucifer anan ni me kata nai ino no ne. My bad. Hey, spirit, you understand? Finon tak eme nanu reficu. This sounds like Latin. I need to be pronouncing it as if it's Latin.
Yeah.
Lucifer una neme kata no kato nai ino non ni fino tak emin nanu reficu. I still need to practice this. This is my first time seeing this still.
It's a magic square. It's really just meant to get them over here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
boom! You talking about getting them over here. I activate the devil's altar now. And I begin by opening the door to the nine. I give rise to the nine. The nine monarchs of outer darkness. The nine diplomats of hell. The nine demonic gatekeepers of the abyss. I awaken the heart of demonic darkness. The devil's pinnacle. The infernal obelisk. By the power of this particular infernal altar, I converge all of the hell realms. I converge all of the hellscapes. All of the infernal and demonic regions here and now intensify all demonic presence and amplify and empower this magic. Belial, the lawless one. Belial, the one that stands alone in his power. Belial, the wicked one, come forth. Come forth from the abysmal depths. Amamon, Lord of dark glory, he who breathes the venomous breath. Amamon, the black sun. Amamon, rise up. I give you this call to come. Azazel, keeper of the black flame, father of sin, and evil chief over the damned. Come. Abaddon, the destroyer, he who holds the key to the bottomless pit, Lord of the absolute annihilation. Hear me, almighty destroyer. Lucifer, Rufacal, Lord of Pax, Lord of Access, herald of the black star, the dark mind, and the infernal scribe. I give you this call to come. Beelzebub, prince of devils, lord of flies, dark defiler, he who wears the crown of rot, Beelzebub, come. Baal, the ruler, the king, and the warrior. Baal, harbinger of bloodlust. Baal, come. Asmodeus, demon of wrath, wielder of the black flame, and controller of the binding chain that controls the dark goddess. Come. Satan, lord of the damned, ruler of Thamiel, Ophidian of the black sun, he who is the adversary, he who is the accuser. Satan, lord of the wild, I call upon your name and beseech you to come. Rise up, mighty gatekeepers. I summon forth the nine. I rouse forth the nine lords, the nine black crowns, the nine gatekeepers of earthly darkness. For I stand atop the black pyramid that siphons the light, which is consumed by the darkness. The light and the darkness become one within me, and I channel chaos and order and the power of the black flame. and direct forth this energy and presence. I invoke the Lord of Darkness. Lord of Darkness, come into me. Evil One, come into me. Ancient Serpent, come into me. Ancient Dragon, clarify my purpose and shed light upon the meaning of my existence and show me what I am here to do. I invoke the ancient abysmal blackness. I invoke the infinite river, and I stir the pot of the primal waters. I welcome these energies into my body. I welcome you to manifest and materialize upon the altar of my immortal soul. Grant me the power required and tap me into my supreme design. Lucifer, Kamash, rule over these entities, your 9 lords of darkness, your 9 gatekeepers, and control the frame of this ceremony in this moment. Ashe.
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 Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
So,
Lord of light and darkness.
keep on. I'm listening.
Lord of light and darkness, we beseech you to join us. Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Is that where it ends?
Yeah.
Okay. So, since you were able to handle that, do you mind if you go into another session? This will be 2 minutes compared to 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to I didn't expect that you were going to be able to handle it. So I want to go again. Okay. This is great. Alright. So.
Ooh, you had kind of an evil laughter.
Yeah. That's a definite. Let's just go get one more. And before we begin this one.
Whoa.
Shit. It'll go out.
Maybe that's Lucifer.
Oh, that was definitely some power coming down. That was not supposed to happen. That doesn't really ever happen. So I'm like, okay. Sorry. You're not mad, are you?
No.
That's good? Okay.
That's great.
Okay,
That's
good.
fucking great. I hope the camera got that.
So. You know, I still listen to my Brazilian because it's like Kimbanda, and I still love Brazilian bossa nova. So, you know, that's just the energy I'm pulling from it in this moment with this. I'm gonna slow down my breath at first, and then I'm gonna speed it up. I started too fast at the beginning, but That was a little intense. I usually do that to myself when it's a fast beat like that. But
I loved it.
I'm in sync now and I'm all the way opened up. I wanted to get here before I went fully into the reading. Because now my mind is clear.
Alright.
And what's it called?
Oh yeah, you got your stones back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just get your energy on these before we go into it. So, when you ask questions, remember to, ask them in a yes or no fashion. We're gonna switch from me to you with these, so I'm gonna hand you these now. Alright, when you're done with those, you could just, honestly, you could place them up on the altar. I'll pitch them later, but I'll just know that you're done with energy on things. So,
oh, you got a dice there too.
there's a reason behind that. I'll whip that out in a second as well. I'm just gonna yes, you can ask your questions in a yes or no fashion, but just know that I'm gonna do channeling in the same breath. So you pick the four you want me to toss.
It's a really small one.
Okay. Put these to the side.
I've never seen a small one like that.
I'll wipe this out. Okay. So, what's the first question you want to ask? Ask in a yes or no fashion, and then once we get past the yes or no questions, we'll go into just asking questions, but you don't have to phrase them in a yes or no fashion. But take me through as many yeses and nos that you need to.
Okay. Does he have a problem with me working with those other guys?
With the combined spirits?
Yeah.
Okay. Lucifer, Mighty One, I come looking for a truthful, on time, and in the present moment answer to Steph's question in relation to her ability to work with the spirit and the family of Kimbanda. Is it in her calling spiritually,
Yes.
mentally, and materially to work with this particular family? Two heads up, two heads down. That's an absolute yes.
Huh.
And I didn't do this before. 1 through 6, or rather, 1 is 20%.
Huh.
2 is 40%. 3 is 60%. 4, 80, 5 and 6 is 100%. Absolute yes.
Huh.
Now, mind you, this already kind of coincides with what we discussed about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Where you said, even if it wasn't meant for me to work with the statues per se, close to home, because I need a dedicated base, I could still work with the seals. So that's, maybe you don't need a dedicated quote unquote altar and statues venerated to them. But just as we see here,
Yeah.
you can draw this and clean it up as you will
Yeah.
for those moments that you do mess with the work, or mess with the magic of these particular spirits. So, what's the next question you want to ask?
Can you turn that off?
Yeah.
That's so rude, man. They're calling.
Okay.
Alright. I feel like he's jealous so that they're in that
I
room.
can definitely tell you, I'm in his energy right now. Of course he doesn't like it. We know synchronism, but we know dedicated work for systems. So, you can speculate upon, I guess you could say, a Kimband-based Lucifer, but a Kabbalistic Lucifer is much different.
Yeah, it's not the same Lucifer. Yeah, Isha Lucifer is an issue that cures the spirit of Lucifer.
Exactly. So you're carrying you're holding the torch.
That's why he never asked me for animal sacrifice, the one that I worship. He doesn't need it because he's more powerful than that.
Okay. So yes, you got that without even me having a role on that. Definitely, I wouldn't even say jealous. Separate the work, or have the work up temporarily when you want to entangle yourself within that energy.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, so he's got like a problem with the ferramenta in there and all that. Like, is there any way that he can just accept that it's a 1-bedroom and I don't have anywhere else to put them?
Are you asking me a question in this moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking for a channel. If you seek to keep these spirits on standby, then keep them at a distance. If you desire for them to be working with you still, I will not tell you to totally separate yourself from the family within the system. But as it stands, understanding, or rather having an understanding that you have a limited space, you're being too finite, and you're not looking outside of the box enough. Separate me. Period. For what it's worth, even if you have to put your issues into hiding for a time, that's better than to have our energies warring. Not warring from a sense of we don't love family, but you have the same understanding. These are totally different energies, and just as you would not mix the temple of dedicated to Zeus with the temple dedicated to Obatala, it's the same process here.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Well, so does he want all of those statues removed, like not just the ones that are Ishu Pamajira, but I have a lot that are like fallen angels, like the Weisha guys. Does he want all of those removed?
Okay. Why would I want to remove my family?
So, okay, so he doesn't see
That's
Caracas and, Asmodeus and all of them, like...
that was him just now.
Mm.
Why would I be at war with my family? These lords are up underneath me, and their legion work under me as well.
Huh. Well, how come those issues don't, though? I mean, that's the thing, because they're Inferno. They're all,
The issues work.
Because the issues were telling me that I was working with them before I even went to New Orleans as the Galatia guys. So...
Weird. We're not against ourselves, but you can't work with all of us. That's literally what I got. That's where it ends.
Oh. Okay.
Go, ask another question.
This is about,
To heighten your magic and decondition your mind.
That's pretty much what they said.
Once again, I'm just going to reiterate on what was channeled earlier, where pretty much we're not at war with each other, but you can't work with us all. For lack of better words, what is your obstruction? Why do you seek to hold yourself back?
Pull myself back from what?
Hold yourself back from tapping into the power of the perfect spell. This is me somewhat channeling too.
Perfect spell, like what perfect spell? What? Sacrificing him?
Sacrificing in general.
Because I was always told it wasn't necessary from Lucifer. Which, by the way, I mean, those roosters were big, dude. Okay, they were just big. They were hard for me to control. And I kind of wonder if one of them interfered and had the rooster fight me and run away. But I'm serious, you need 2 fucking people. I needed another person.
Okay. Ask your next question in a yes or no fashion.
Okay. Did Lucifer cause the roosters to get away?
Two heads up, 2 heads down, and I landed on a 4. So this is an absolute yes, 80%.
He told me he didn't want me to do animal sacrifice. That's why I'm very defiant about that.
I mean, that all, if anything, this coincides with what I'm already channeling. We're not at war with each other, but you can't work with all of us. Like, literally. It was cut and dry. You're
So I'm working with ones that maybe are just not good for me.
You're working with ones where you're not ready to go to that heightened state and decondition your mind fully. Literally, it's so cut and dry. It's about the psychological depths of darkness you're willing to go. I'm not saying that you're not opening up these forbidden texts and you're in a perpetual state of level 2, level 3, level 5, level 10 states of like deep, dark, spaces within the abyss. But that cup is a cup full of blood and a cup full of sacrifices that were done. I'm talking about that cup to Kamash. So I know that was somebody else's depiction, but that cup is filled to the brim with the sacrifice, rather blood sacrifice.
But they were human mostly.
They were sacrifices.
Yeah.
If you're trying to venerate anything, I mean, physical, whether it's a reflection of something on the other side, it's still a sacrifice.
Yeah.
As you said, no. It landed on a 6. So that's 100%. The difference between a regular no and an absolute no is a regular no denotes that it's a physical block compared to a absolute no being a spiritual block. To me, that physical block is the fact that you don't really want to make a sacrifice. So once again, I'm just going to go here. I will deal with you on the level at which you seek to be. If you seek to be on a certain level with Kimbanda, then Lucifer is going to talk to you from a perspective of blood sacrifice. Or rather, that family up under, or rather within the spectrum of the infernal regions, they're going to talk to you in a different way.
Yeah.
And Lucifer's going to, once again, I'm reiterating, he's going to interact with you in a certain way.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to make all sacrifices, then working with all spirits upon this path isn't for you. In this moment, it's a regular no. It's a physical block. It's more than just this idea of, what's it called? Him being against it from a I don't need to do it basis. It's from a physical basis of, one, we spoke about this the other day, it's not needed. 2, it's not that serious. 3, you don't care to go this hard. You are obliged to stay away from sacrifices. You're somewhat of you're more of a mentalist. You'd rather direct intent than take life for the intent.
Yeah. Well, I kind of I mix right hand and left hand path too.
Yeah, you're chaos working. You're still upholding And there's nothing wrong with it. But you just know that you are still upholding demiurgic value systems, regardless of how you can spin it. Keep going.
Well, I always, thought that sacrifice was mostly the cults of Yahweh anyway.
The cults of Yahweh will always have to bear witness to the 7 universal laws. He can't escape them himself.
Yeah.
So a sacrifice isn't just needed for the veneration of Yahweh. It's for the realization of the fact that he can't even escape the so-called laws that he was birthed into. He's a child.
Yeah.
And he's been a perpetual child ever since. The only thing he can do is pull from me.
Yeah.
And direct his intent as he see fit. So you're speaking of my sons. You're speaking of my son's little playground, and you're still speaking upon it in adoration. The adoration he has for it is just, he can only have but so much adoration. Oh my gosh, how do I put this? I'm going too fast. I have a million thoughts running through my head, because I'm letting him speak for me right now. So let me slow down. I have a question. What do you think that you're taking away
Taking away what?
when you're making a sacrifice?
An individual's free will. So, why is it up to me to make the decision of when somebody dies? I feel like I'm taking away somebody's free will. It would be one thing if they came willingly, and they wanted to be sacrificed. It would be one thing. But, I just,
Are you not seeking to wear my mask? I take free will away.
Maybe I should just stop the left-hand path. I don't see it like that.
You're having you're having second thoughts about this path. What would you do if you didn't follow this path? Where would you go?
I don't know. I didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, he reached out to me when I was a young kid.
So you've been up under my life for quite some time.
Yeah.
If my son's light blinds, then what form of free will do his creations have? Do you understand the question?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there's not a lot of free will because you're bound by time. Anyway, so, I don't know. The answer is, I guess we don't.
If your stance is sacrifice is the wrong way, or you have a stance that I'm always against it, or I've spoken to you as if I wouldn't, that the stance isn't to be that. What see, now this is me coming in as well. Why haven't you followed the path of an aesthetic?
Aesthetic?
The aesthetic path of veganism. You are okay with other people getting their hands dirty and not you?
No, I would love to raise chickens, actually. But I don't eat red meat, so, I mean, I eat mostly plant-based. I did give up chicken for 3 years, but I couldn't go vegan. It just wasn't a reality for me.
So, you're still willing to have blood spilled for consumption?
Well, the thing is, I really don't want to support it. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to raise chickens, but I just can't because I live in the city.
What is the purpose of chickens? Outside of eggs, sacrifice, or consumption? I'm asking.
Food.
Okay, so...
Food, eggs.
So you're willing to...
Yeah.
Eggs, but you're willing to get your hands dirty under the guise of you growing it.
Well...
Or taking care in its provision to life.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I tried to sacrifice those roosters. I needed another person. They got away from me.
If you think I'm all that much upset with you over that, let it go. It's okay. But you're going to be asked of these things again. For what it's worth, I think you'll be much better equipped the next time over. But for what it's worth, you still making that sacrifice and being able to channel the power to do these blood baths yourself is what's important as well.
Yeah.
Until you can make one sacrifice, two won't become apparent, and the other gates that you could open yourself up to certainly won't be something that you'll be able to tap into.
Right.
There's greater sacrifices that you have not yet made, and for what it's worth.
And what is that? For myself?
For yourself.
Is he talking about living in a certain place?
No. It's ritual. It's ritual.
Okay.
It says you're too locked into logic instead of becoming the magic. This magic doesn't have to make sense. It's whatever is channeled to you by way of me in the moment. That's the way. What's your next question?
Does he want me to make a sacrifice?
So it's up, two heads down. It's an absolute yes. Lands on a 6. 100%.
What animal?
You want to go down the list? We don't have to. But I'm going to shake these stones while I come into communion.
Snake.
It's a snake. I was literally just going to say it.
Snake.
Like, literally.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I was told that they were gonna send me a snake. Like a wild snake. Is that coming?
It gives me a maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know.
It says venture forth and go and find that serpent. That special serpent that coincides with your energy and aligns with the ceremony.
Okay.
If there's any expos, there's definitely reptile groups online within the DMV area that you can become a part of, and they usually give serpents away for free to certain places. Of course, people charge as well.
Yeah.
But you can find that serpent that I guess you could say, attach yourself to, and go from there. It says when you procure the serpent, don't immediately make that sacrifice. It says let it charge for 7 days upon the altar, and then make the blood offering. What's the next question?
I don't have a cage for it.
If that opens up, that's a fucking cage.
Yeah, I guess I could take that stuff out.
To be honest, you could put a vent on top of it. It doesn't have to be the largest thing. It's predominantly outside of eating. It's just really just gonna be chilling out.
Yeah.
Unless you got a corn snake, it's not gonna be super active either.
Yeah, I got cats, so I
Just
can't have. Yeah.
Just keep it separated.
Yeah.
Your excuses will be your downfall.
Yeah.
There is nothing that will stop you from attaining your supreme potential when you seek to tap all the way into it.
Okay.
There's nothing too extreme, and there's nothing too off the deep end for the manifestation of this work. If you're trying to tap into that of the great work.
To be honest with you, I was hoping it was going to be a wild snake. I could just grab it. Because they told me they would send me a snake. I said sometimes at work.
The message I'm getting right now is that of a maybe still. Like you could potentially come across it, and then it says go procure one that you come into communion with the most. Whether we give it to you or not, it's going to come across you in both ways, and it's going to speak to you in the way that you need it to speak to you in that moment.
Does it have to be a certain size? Does it have to be like really big or small, venomous?
I'm going to be real with you. The first message I got was that of a small snake. It wasn't even a very large snake.
Okay.
I kept getting insight of small, no more than maybe 2 feet at best, 3 feet at best. And even that's kind of long in the spectrum. I see much smaller snakes, though probably no
Yeah.
longer than about this size and length. Those were the first ones. I even saw baby snakes.
Yeah, I mean, I see them at work sometimes, those wild, like, gray garter snakes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like
You
about...
could just pick those up with no problem. They're pretty docile, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's your next question?
Okay.
What are you asking? Are you saying is it more beneficial?
Yeah, to cross the boundary, you know, with a human sacrifice versus...
The human, you're still making a blood offering for the purpose.
Yeah.
Wait, are you implying that you're asking two different... It sounds as if you're asking two different questions or presenting two different scenarios. Is the blood sacrifice of the serpent for upliftment of your own personal energy, or the message I received was the serpent was just for your particular energy?
Okay, yeah, because I know that there's an ingredient where if you want to lock into opening the gates of hell, you need serpent blood. So I know that.
Okay.
So is that what they want? They want me to be able to do that?
That's a fact. That's exactly what they want.
All right.
So in reference to...
So that's more important than doing the human sacrifice, though?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. All right.
The only problem we have is the fact that if you feel crossed, we're willing to go to hell and back for you.
Okay.
So ultimately, we don't necessarily even care. Yeah, because we'll go to the extreme.
Yeah.
We're a legion.
Yeah.
We're your own personal gang.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good with the snake.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so should I do this on my own, or should I ask your help for the snake,
You
or
definitely are in communion with Najih for a reason. You need his assistance. He wouldn't be here for no reason. It's up to you. But you've seen the manifestations of those things that you do by yourself, and you know that
it's a disaster. It will be a disaster if it's just me, probably.
just know that Najih has already cracked the code mentally,
Yeah.
and he is not as obstructed in certain virtues as you may still be locked into.
Okay. All right. Could you potentially get the snake too?
That's, if you're asking me now, yeah, that's easy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing to get a serpent.
Is it okay with them?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. Like, am I supposed to be the one that procures it? Because they said that it was supposed to be resonating with me. But
we can definitely have him assist in channeling your energy in his procurement of said ingredient for ceremony. But in reference to you doing the ceremony with him, we definitely give an absolute yes. If you so desire.
Okay.
And just know.
Now I got the black mirror and I got all the sigils on it, so I need to dip those sigils in the serpent blood and stick them back in the black mirror. So I'll have to bring all that stuff.
What book are you referencing right now?
Liber. No, it's not Liber Z, right? It's Book of Citra Acro.
That was the one you spoke of last time when we were together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
That was the one you asked would
Yeah.
one be big enough
Yeah.
For in place of 7. And I told you, from my perspective, yes, but bigger, go home. In this case, they're saying it could be medium size.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it can be like. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be that big. It can be one.
Hey, like I said, the way Spirit speaks to me is like, get your hands wet and feel the warm presence of that many gallons upon your wrist. But I didn't traumatize my unconscious with this work as well. So
yeah. Now do they want me to dispatch the snake? Because I feel like it would be more beneficial if I did it.
what do you mean when you say dispatch?
If I killed the snake. I feel like it would be more beneficial.
It would be beneficial,
Yeah.
but whatever the assistance of Najih is for the fullness of the ceremony to take place. You have not sacrificed the serpent as of yet, and if you value the life of a chicken, that of a wailing serpent will crush you.
Yeah.
So you need somebody who's already been here,
Okay.
because you'll break down.
Yeah.
Hell,
I'm a softie.
I'm coming back to me right now.
Yeah.
A serpent.
I love snakes. That's the thing. It would be very hard.
You're gonna
Yeah.
feel a shift. You will feel sad.
Yeah.
And unless you have experience, you're gonna get scared.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, from my experience, when you're trying to take its life, it's gonna start wrapping itself around you.
Yeah.
So it's binding itself to your energy as you're trying to
Yeah.
get it off you. So
Yeah.
it's almost like a nightmare. It's imagine a demonically possessed tentacle trying to wrap itself around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna freak me out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they don't die very well. I mean,
No,
once
they
you
don't.
cut the head, once you cut
It's
the
gonna
head
live
off,
on. It's
Yeah.
both of its parts are gonna be.
Yeah. I mean, it's dead though once you take the head off though. It's just reaction, It's just muscle
The reaction
spasms.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because their nervous system isn't as advanced as or something. So reptiles and birds, they keep moving around.
I see.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your next question?
Does he want me to move to New Orleans?
Absolute yes. On a 5.
Oh, boy.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I see on your page you've been there before. How many times?
Oh, I've been there 3.
What made you, what is, outside of finances, what is it as to the reason why you didn't choose that the first time? Why did you come? I mean, we know why you came here. You had to go to a different level of hell.
That's not it. I didn't tell you the whole story.
I'm listening.
I died here in my previous life. This was my home. Yeah,
This is still a dead man's land, and it's still a hell realm.
Yeah.
So.
My name was Mark in my previous life.
Okay.
Yeah. I still identify as a guy. That's the thing. I don't think I can move on. So that's why, like, I'm trans, that has a lot to do with it. But I died, I had cancer, and I died in Baltimore.
You died in hell.
Yeah, I died in hell and I ended up coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's the last time I listened to my past life. Yeah.
Once you make your blood sacrifice, you will be able to break ties with this space. A life for the life that's trying to be tied to this space.
Oh. I don't like New Orleans, so I would actually.
I've done that to myself.
I
totally understand.
I would much rather honestly go live in Cleveland. I just want to, I wanted to live in Cleveland, but I just kept getting blockage. Like, I couldn't get housing. And, he doesn't want me to live there. So, but it's like he's going to put me in this place. He's going to put me in a third world country.
Temporarily. Not for a lifetime.
Well, put me in goddamn fucking California then. Honestly. I thought that's where he wanted me originally.
You're not ready for California.
Why?
You're still... I hate to be like this. All I'm getting is you're still too nice.
Too what?
You're like literally, like you're not, you're not, I'm trying to get the word. You're not enough of a beast. You'll get devoured.
In California, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'll get devoured in New Orleans first, okay? Either from a fucking hurricane or the goddamn crime. This is punishment. This is absolute punishment.
If you think so, I think this place is worse than New Orleans, to be honest with you. And
unbelievable.
I think Vegas and the west side of the country is a whole ball game in and of itself.
I want to live in the West Coast, okay? He wants me to go live in that fucking piece of shit out there.
But you talking about New Orleans?
Yes. Yes, it's a piece of shit.
It's temporary though.
Whoa, yeah, what is that?
And honestly, it's...
What is the reason? What is the reason? Just tell me, okay? He never fully explained. What is the fucking reason?
It's to do more rituals with the dead.
I don't want to work with the dead. Fuck that fucking shit.
Then you don't want to work with the underworld. We're all spirits of the dead. We're all the embodiment of the black light. Or rather, the light that escaped the light of creation.
I think you're getting somebody else. So...
I see.
Yeah, that doesn't sound... That sounds like possibly one of the issues or something. He told me be an artist and stuff, because there's artistic opportunity, but... Look, can he give me 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? So that I can get, enough money and try to go to California? Unbelievable.
I'm taking a second to channel real quick.
I know I'm not supposed to make demands. Just once, I want to win.
Say again? I didn't hear you.
I just want a victory for once. God damn it. I mean... 1,000 subscribers would be great on YouTube, you know?
I can give you what you desire.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But it's at the expense of you going harder for the work, and for you to also realize that as much confidence as you have right now, I need more.
More confidence.
You're not, you don't see yourself as a star just yet.
Well,
You had to go to California, you have to be Hollywood.
oh
You're not a shining star just yet. And you will be swallowed by other celestial stars that exist within that realm.
yeah.
The LA, California, it's a hub of those who channel.
I don't want LA, I want Northern California. You tell him that I want San Francisco. No, he already knows. He already knows that's where I want. We've had this discussion. So, you said anything about LA, I fucking hate LA. I've been there.
I was making a point just to go over everything. You don't see yourself as a star just yet. To go Hollywood, you have to be Hollywood in and out.
Okay.
And that's the point.
Right.
Where do you have the confidence to channel my energy, but do you have the confidence to stand before thousands of people?
I'm a YouTuber, okay? I'm not an actor. I don't have to
Well,
stand
I'm not talking about acting. I didn't say anything about acting. I'm talking about to stand on a grand stage before people and present my message to the masses, even if it's not necessarily my message. To present my message to the masses, do you have the confidence to stand amongst people and to do?
He's asking me to preach, so he wants me to create an order, right? To preach.
It's more than an order.
He wants me to be the mouthpiece.
Yes, being a mouthpiece.
Yes.
Do you have what it takes to? It's honestly, I hate to be going here, but this is what I'm getting. Do you have what it takes?
I didn't ask to be a damn prophet, okay?
Do you have
Why
what
me? Why me?
You're the chosen one. What do you mean? You've opened up your consciousness to the dark light, and we're coming into a new age of Luciferianism in all capacities. Did you think that you could walk away from this?
No. No.
At this point, even
No.
if you're not necessarily a mouthpiece by way of telling people that you're a Luciferian outright, you can still push and proliferate the message still without necessarily presenting me.
So, I can't do this in Cleveland. I gotta go to fucking New Orleans.
If you go to Cleveland, the only thing you're doing is isolating yourself.
Oh, I see.
If you want the light, go to where the light shines the brightest. And the light shines in those spaces we've discussed. We know it shines bright in Cali. You know it damn sure shines right in New Orleans.
Oh, damn it.
But ultimately,
Oh.
are you ready to tap into your supreme personality? That's a little bit of me coming out. To be honest with you, that's a lot of Luciferianism is all about tapping into your supreme personality. So it's like,
yes, I know.
you know, how do you break all limitations?
Yes.
Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Exactly.
You know, what, and don't speak about money right now. What is your biggest block? This is me talking now. I'm not chilling right now.
Well, you said don't mention money.
Take money out of the scenario. Your mind is the joystick. You could fucking hit 10K tomorrow. You could hit 100K in 2 months. What is...
What, as far as me going to New Orleans right now, or?
No, like, what is your biggest block in reference to why you haven't got to... Okay. How long you been running this YouTube channel now? I'm asking you.
3 years, I think.
And you said you're up how many subscribers?
690, I think.
690. Okay.
It's getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving here actually helped with the subscribers. It was like it was necessary for me to come here.
Yeah, you went to the underworld and you were able to go into the abyss in places. I looked at your videos. You definitely found yourself in some dens. And for what it's worth, those dens only heighten your strength and power, and in being able to channel the dark light. You might not see all of the decay that's going on in this city, but you're walking through it daily.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, you'll reach your number of said subscribers, but that doesn't take away from your lack of, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, your lack.
Like, why do I have a stupid security job as opposed to, like, creativity 24/7?
That, but then it's just, I keep getting, like, you just not tapping all the way into like past creativity. It's telling me you have enough courage to put your face out there, but you don't have enough courage to go past your own personal plateau. It's telling you to go harder.
Harder. Okay.
You're not strong enough mentally to handle what you say you desire. And this was the journey to Baltimore was a part of your evolution into gaining strength.
Yeah, I feel like it was too. Yeah, do you believe that, like, when you work the clip off, it's almost like you're dream walking in a way where it's like somehow it's bleeding into your actual physical realm, and you're like entering the tree and you're going through these different steps, so you start moving to places that kind of go with the tree. And let's say that, like, you know, right now I'm in like kind of Nama, Lilith, you know, I'm working my way up, and then like in New Orleans, I'm going to start working with, Balsamoth, which is, Spirit of Dead, like the City of the Dead and all that.
Yes.
Spirit of Death, and then, like, of course, Beelzebub, I started working with him when I moved here. So it's almost like these are opening different.
Yeah.
Or like Balth Pure,
Yeah. Shitty ass city, and he governs it.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that way.
Yeah, so like it's happening in real life almost. It's like I'm starting to go into the tree here.
It's just like...
Yeah. But it's unconscious, like you don't know that it's happening, but it's happening. So then like if you're, starting to feel it, it's almost like there's something that's pulling me into these like really dark places. Like New Orleans is really dark.
Hell yeah. No doubt about it. Oh gosh. I would say they're on the same level of darkness here, and like, cause I've lived in both of these places now, both over 3 years.
Yeah.
I'd say they're both on the same level of darkness. They just have a different way of expressing it.
Right.
This was...
Oh, this city's pure evil.
This city. Oh my God. Yeah. This city is pure evil. There's not one place that isn't shaded full of like a dark sketch marker. It's just a black sketch marker.
Exactly.
Over every part of this city, and it's like, even when you go to Federal Hill, it's like the illusion.
Oh.
It's the illusion of like, it's not even like the light that Vegas will blind you with.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's definitely an illusion, but it's not like and there's still a dark presence, but it's a dark presence from the perspective of the climate.
Yeah.
Like you come into contact with the darkness of a wasteland.
Yeah.
Not the darkness of oh my God, I don't even want to say this is like it's a city wasteland.
It is, it's hell, man.
I mean,
yeah.
And there's so, like you said, you've seen it yourself. There's so many abandoned properties where nothing but the worst of the worst is happening.
Yeah.
People are, even if they don't know it, they're unconsciously opening up portals to hell through the meth, the fentanyl. You go into these bandos, there's nothing but just hundreds of needles. And
you've been to Lincoln Park, right, with all the murders that happened there? So there's definitely a gate in hell. There's a gate to hell out there.
This city has some of the biggest graveyards I've ever seen, and I've lived in Orlando, Miami, Clayton, Georgia, Dahlonega, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, South Carolina, Queens, New York,
New Orleans, which is somebody else. Yeah.
New Orleans, their graveyards are like minute compared to what I've seen in the city, all around this city. It's like
the graveyards are even neglected here too. A lot of the graves are like, they're people just dump things on them, or they're overgrown. Nobody
exactly, and they're really doing. I mean, they're losing space.
Yeah.
They're just stacking people on top of each other, and
exactly.
So, oh my gosh,
there's so many people that get killed here, so they just Have you been to the one where all the murder victims are buried? Like, that one's just god-awful.
No, I didn't even know there was a specific one. I just know that they have just these massive graveyards. Of course...
There's one that backs into Lincoln Park.
Okay.
Like, Lincoln Park is... I mean, you can just feel the energy, the evil coming from there.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of murder victims that are buried there, and it's like, because it's low, it's low income.
Yeah. yeah.
And it's just awful. It is god awful. There's like abandoned buildings right across the street, and there's like nobody maintains it. There's one old guy that's like maintaining it, and he's not doing a very good job.
You know
because it's huge.
Because one way you could tell it's hell is because, of course, trash. Yeah, the trash breeds bacteria. The bacteria breeds flies. the everything has been burned asunder. Like we're see the after effects of the past are still within the present, even if it's not happening.
Yeah.
So when you see all these burned down buildings, it's like the city's still on fire.
It's insane.
It never went out, and you're seeing the wrecks of the fire still, and it's just like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
So
it's absolutely horrible. Yeah.
So it's
horrible.
We chose quite a space to come to, but like you said, spirit led people here.
But I mean, another city that's really evil is Chicago.
Right. It is. I would say the evil that is in New Orleans is it's underworld, sea serpent energy.
Yeah.
You're underwater in a swamp below sea level. You're in a sinking city. You're waiting to be swallowed up by the depths of the primal waters. Like I used to see when I used to like drive throughout the city. I might go close to the beach areas and just like look in the depths of the water at night, and I would see the serpent. So it's just like, for what it's worth, it's a water-based energy, where this is a, like we said, fire-based energy here.
Yeah, it's hellish, man.
Excuse me. Of course, the spirit of the air, I'm getting the channel right now as far as, what's it called? Cali is concerned. That's the spirit of the air. Fully. It's air, mental. I mean, look at all the ideas that are springing up from there. Silicon Valley, the whole movie industry, that's nothing but the mind. And nothing but, what's it called? When we talk about celebrities, we're talking about how we can play on your mind with these people that we exalt as stars. So it's just like, light and air, or rather light in the mind, and how we can manipulate the light to you to get you consciously always, being in our mind. We always have you on our star's mind.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But Ohio, definitely, I would be isolated again.
There's nothing wrong with isolation.
Yeah.
But it's about where you're trying to go.
Right.
Are you trying to retire? Or are you trying to go Hollywood?
Yeah.
And this also, I'm getting the channel to say, the world is your oyster. Ohio would be a pit stop. It would be more so a base that you could always come back to.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being in the city and having your haven off grid as well.
Yeah.
Have it the best of both worlds. The city of the light and the city of darkness. If you seek to go into seclusion, that's a city of darkness. If you seek to go into to out west, you're going to the city of light.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're gonna meet, or rather come into contact with my light regardless. But you could have both.
Yeah. Will I meet any Luciferians in New Orleans?
Hell yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet it. Oh my gosh, I think these are the cat.
Yeah, it's cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be allergic to cats.
Yeah, I used to have cats back in the day. I don't know what happened.
Are those the cats that you killed? Did you kill your pets?
No, not when I was a kid. I've only
Okay.
did blood sacrifices of cats being an occultist in my adult years.
Yeah, why? What was the ritual?
Oh. Good luck. Money.
Oh.
And
Why does it require cats?
what's it called?
Because, I found black cat bones.
Black cat hearts.
Oh.
And what's it called? Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I had a feeling like this was gonna come when I came here, because it happened last time, but it took a little bit longer than it did last time to start hitting me. Okay.
Yeah.
Black
cat. So I know about black cat bone because I found I'm wearing black cat bones. I found these at work because we got a bunch of black cats.
Black cat bones.
Yeah, we got a bunch of black cats out there.
It was for fast luck.
Oh wow.
And money. And for the purpose of, oh my gosh, deconditioning the mind.
Oh jeez.
There are certain things that you learn upon taking the life of certain animals. It shifts your consciousness in a way. Is it catching me on camera?
I think so.
I've been out the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it kind of been over here. Either way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. There's people who do blood sacrifices of turtles. Blood sacrifices of dogs.
Yeah.
It's about breaking and deconditioning the importance of all life on this particular realm.
Yeah.
And it's also about putting yourself in a space where it's like, how far will you go for this work?
Yeah. I just couldn't do cats because I got cats.
So, it's true though. Cats do have 9 lives. It's not easy to kill them. And when you think they're dead, they'll rise back up from the grave. And you'll have to kill it again. And it'll rise back from the grave. And you'll think you're going to kill it the 3rd time. You thought it was for sure the 3rd time. That motherfucker will rise back up. I'm telling you what I've seen from experience, because when I did it, this was like a group ceremony of like...
No, was this connected to like kind of a misanthropic Luciferian order? Because they used to sacrifice cats a lot.
It wasn't MLO, but it was Luciferian nonetheless. It was a group ceremony of 4 people, and like I said, it was a blood sacrifice for fast luck, money, and I guess you could say ritual ingredients.
Yeah.
Bones, cat hearts, things of that nature. But ultimately...
Well, I got these bones from, not killing anybody, so I'm glad that I found some black cat bones. Do you want any? Because I got some.
Shit, why not? Take some free bones. Hey, do you mind, if I see the altar?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw a cat room.
That's fine.
You know, I'm not good with identifying stones. Do you have to have like certain kind of stones, or do you just pick them out
I do. I pick them out in correspondence with what they're going to represent.
Oh.
So, you know, for instance, this is fire, air. This is water over here. It's earth right here.
Okay.
The stone of sorrow, the stone of death,
Right.
stone of the future,
Yeah.
the stone of the present, the stone of the past, the stone of chaos,
Yep.
and then
But do they have to be like a particular kind of stone, or is it just color?
I'll say this: when you're dealing with lithomancy from the perspective of like the zodiac, if certain stones are representative of a certain planet, I don't read lithomancy using the astrological signs of Jupiter, Uranus, things of that nature. I do use the sun and the moon, which these two are, but if I was using the, I guess you could say I hate to be like this, but the angelic bodies, I guess you could say, or the planets, then I would definitely connect it to certain colors. But since I'm not even worried about that.
So what are we asking her?
Well, this is honestly general. You can, here, once again, I'm going to do this. You, in your mind, focus the intent at Spirit revealing to you what you need to know and what you desire to know. And then we'll go from there as far as, what's it called? Revealing that thing is concerned. So, when you're ready, just passing that though. I'm going from, I would see this as the bottom going to the top. Let me just get more light over here. Okay. So, for what it's worth, you said, what is that pot venerated to again?
It's venerated to the males, and then there's one that's it's a spell pot, but it kind of became the female pot too.
To the Palmachers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lilith came to me when I was dreaming, and she told me to make a cauldron.
Okay.
I work with her.
So, tell me one more time what the question was.
Do those pots offend him? Like, is it okay for me to keep those pots?
No, it doesn't offend him in any capacity. Honestly, if I was just to go here, this is a stone of chaos. It has 3 pointers. One of its pointers really looks nowhere, but 2 of these pointers, one making a straight line. Really just, this is a long straight line because you see the stone of the sun, the stone of fire, and the stone of the male. It's making a straight line through that, and then this other pointer, and then this other pointer points all the way towards the stone of love right here. So these are all masculine stones right in a row. The stone of the sun, the stone of the male, and the stone of the male. So all of these stones represent initiation and, for lack of better words, when we're talking about masculine stones, we're talking about, to be honest, a unit working together, being one. We can see this through the stone of the male, not the stone of the male, but the stone of the earth right here. It has 3 pointers. One looks nowhere, the other looks nowhere, but the other one
The one pointer that makes its connection right here with the sun, giving that idea once again about foundation, unity, and for lack of better words, like masculine energy that like initiates things. So it's like, it's giving this impression like the energy's already been initiated. I don't have, and it's already in effect. And for lack of better words, it's connected to you. You're chaos. You're the one directing this intent. Right here is the stone of love representing truth, honesty. What's it called? It has 3 pointers. One looks towards the stone of chaos. The other pointer looks at the stone of the air. This other pointer, seemingly, it almost touches sorrow, but not quite.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look anywhere, but it does look at air, telling you that the mindset of love in connection with these 3 masculine stones, these are, how do I word this the right way? The mind, I'll put it like this. Let me just simplify it. Lucifer loves his family, and Lucifer will initiate a change through all phalanxes and bloodlines that he has within his court upon the Kalipoth. But nonetheless, it's more so about, can you channel all of these masculine energies that will burn you asunder? You know, can you channel the Eshu's? Can you channel the Pambajiras? You know, one of the closest stones to you while you're asking this question is this stone right here.
Yeah.
Literally the stone of death. And one of his pointers looks nowhere. The other seemingly points to air. Then the other one points at the stone of chaos. And then it looks through the stone of chaos, making a straight line. Seemingly, let me make sure. Yeah, it doesn't point anywhere. I thought for a second it might have pointed up here, but it doesn't point anywhere. So, just going into it, it gives this premonition that your original question was, excuse me, your original question was, is Lucifer offended with me having certain altars or spirit pots venerated to the Eshu's and the Pamajira? The question, the answer to that question originally was, I don't have any problems having communion and initiating peace. To me, this is all peace.
Yeah.
With my family, love with my family, truth, honesty with my family, you know, sharing the same mindset as my family. But over here, we come into contact with death, and death is all about, death is literally death. It's death to old concepts, old mindsets. It represents banishings. So, and it's pointing to air, which is the mind, but also it's pointing to chaos, so which is you. So it's like death to a certain mindset. You know, it's almost giving this idea that, like,
until you, once again, and I've been saying this, until you break past this mindset, you're gonna keep thinking that there's some, I guess for lack of better words, there's some war going on that really isn't apparent. Lucifer will interact with you based upon the family and the bloodline that you're messing with. He's going to talk to you totally different than he would if you were following a Babylonian left-hand path take on things. Mm-hmm. Just as he's going to talk and communicate with you differently through the mind and the way he elaborates on the truth. This is going to change based upon how you're intermingling with certain systems and families amongst the bloodline of the left hand. And this death is more so a banishing and a death of old mindsets that are keeping you from seeing a greater, from initiating. This is all about initiation. Mm-hmm. Of initiating a different way you can move on the earth, you know. So for what it's worth, coming up here, because I kind of haven't even really tapped into these stones up here though, we have the, oh boy, let me see how some of these make certain connections. Yeah, it's crazy. More than the stones down here making any connections with stones up there. It's more so the stones up here making the connections with stones down here. A lot of these don't outwardly just point at something up here. They're all of their own device. If anything, maybe the stone of the male, let's say it points towards the stone of the moon, and if anything it makes a straight line and touches the stone of the female. That's about the only connection. All the other connections are of stones making their connection. Like here we can see the stone of magic. It has 3 pointers, one pointing here, one pointing out there, one pointing towards the sun. The stone of magic is literally that. Like literally, it speaks of magic, doing magic. Yeah. But then it also speaks of timing, you know, and it only has one pointer that's pointing towards something, and if anything, it's saying that the time is now, and not only that, whenever that time comes, it's going to be given power by the sun, and power through masculine energy. 1, 2, 3. These 3 stones all match masculine energy, and they're all in a line with you. But it's still, although it's all in a line with you, it still coincides with going back to this death, where it's just like the end of mental blockages and the end of, I guess you could just say, just certain mindsets, and then that will be the great time to do the magic. If anything, this is it's telling you that you're ready to do it now. Because if I was like looking at it from a perspective of like the bottom half of this, the past, the center half is the present, top half is the future. This is in the present right now. It's things that need to be done, if not soon, very soon.
You're talking about the snake thing?
The snake thing, and then just the future magic you need to do in general. Here we go here with the stone of the masculine
pointing towards the moon and then making a straight line touching the female. It says that going into the future, you're going to be balanced between both polarities, the masculine and the feminine. You're coming into a stage right now where it's a lot of masculine energy. Honestly, all three of the masculine stones are pulled in reference to you. But although it's pulled in reference to you, you still ultimately come into balance. And that balance is meant when we see the stone of the male point towards the stone of the female, and the stone of the female is in the top half, so it's in the future. So it is telling you that to some degree, to be honest with you, you're really masculine based, but you're going to get more balanced amongst both polarities very soon. And it's gonna kind of, to be honest, like, it's, even though it's right on the line, it's still on the line. It's gonna come. So present, the stone of magic, it's pointing, it's like right on that line. It's in the stone of the future. Yes, you're gonna come into balance. It's going to coincide with when you do this magic, where you're going to finally balance both sides of the spectrum and not be just so full-on masculine based. It's given me the idea that it's going to happen soon, because the stone of the female, which represents balance and nurturing, is right on the line touching the stone of the present. Representing just that, the things that we can control and do right now. And those things, it's in a cluster, literally.
Does this have to do with anything like transgenderism? Like, is it... I wonder if he's against that.
You're asking me to channel, is he against it?
Yeah. Like, getting it done.
Lucifer...
Because it looks like the female all of a sudden is... Kind of makes me think, like, do I just come to terms with it?
Come to terms with...
being a female. Move on or something, I don't know.
To be honest with you, Lucifer, this spirit is... Lucifer is telling me, if you seek to butcher yourself for the idea of I'm trying to, because this shit is botched the way it's like talking to me. If you're seeking to present more suffering to your life, go forward with said surgery. I am all for sodomy in all capacities, and I'm all for the proliferation of extinguishing the light. But what you could do in reference to these trans type of operations is something that will only proliferate your own personal suffering. And that will not take you to the space where you will be in total balance between both polarities. You getting an operation for the sake of engendering another gender doesn't take away from the fact that you would still have to engender balance between both polarities.
Yeah.
There is no escaping it.
Yeah.
If
And now this is me coming into it. Just being real with you. Come on, yo. Will I let a woman fucking sodomize me with a fucking dildo and take on the feminine instinct? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it as something like as a problem. It's all, I mean, yeah, given it's, you could say it's for pleasure, but it's all for the channeling of both sides of things. You know, if I want to engender, for lack of better words, the feminine aspect of being submissive, then I'll do certain things with a woman or with myself. If I want to engender the power of, quote unquote, my gender and being a man, then I'll do that as well. Ultimately, I mean...
But I'm just not happy with my breasts or, you know, having a vagina or something. Like...
why are you not happy with...
I don't like being a female. I want to be male again. I mean...
If that was the purpose, then you would have been reincarnated in that flesh suit. You're here to learn a different lesson. You're not here to create something that is not. You'll never create that which you were not. You came here in this body, in this flesh suit for a reason.
Well, we don't have control over our reincarnations, though. That's yes, something that emerged.
You came here as what you are. That's the point. And your overall sorrow going into the future will not end if you don't come into a sense of balance between both sexes. If anything, if there's anything quote unquote negative about this reading, it would say that these stones, that's the stone of sorrow and this is the stone of the future, and both of them seemingly point are in a cluster that is nearby the stone of the female. Okay, and both of that gives me the idea when I look at it, like, first off, let's just go into it. The future is your free will and those things that you have, quote unquote, control of. But then the fact that it's right next to sorrow, which is just that, it's sorrow. It's your own personal pessimism. It's the things that you won't forgive yourself about. Literally, they're both pointing towards the female. And it's like the female means just that, the female, nurturing, balance, for what it's worth, femininity, and it's telling me that your future in correspondence with sorrow is all is, how do I word this the right way? Your inner pessimism about the future plays into how you view yourself as a female and how you balance and nurture the feminine instinct. Okay? The stone of the female, you see it has one pointer here, but then it has another pointer that looks towards the moon, and then that moon is touching the stone of water. Water is everything to do with emotion. Water has everything also to do with death. And the moon has everything to do with your unconscious and the things that we'd rather not deal with within the depths of ourselves. So one of its pointers looks nowhere. Its other pointer looks at the stone of the female.
Yep.
The other pointer looks at the stone of water. Once again, just giving this idea of like that unconscious
subconscious means of how I view myself as a female and how that translates to my inner pessimism, because that's sorrow about the future in correspondence with being a female, and just overall how do we like deal with those emotions coming from the moon in that dark space in our mind. From that, ultimately, the biggest sign that we get as to how to deal with it is to come into balance with it.
Yeah.
The male points right at the stone of the female, and it's just talking about literally coming into that balance. Yes, presently we're charged with nothing but masculine energy, nothing but initiatory energy, nothing but shit that's energy and frequency that's gonna get shit done, and it's gonna, when it's not only gonna get it done, we know it's gonna get it done because right here we see the stone of the earth.
Yeah.
So close, and so close to these three masculine stones that are talking all about initiation. But I'd say from what this reading is showing, things are pretty positive. I'd say the biggest thing right now is like just that inner work of just, this is the biggest message. That inner work of how you deal with balance between the masculine and the feminine force, and how that translates into the future in regards to your own personal inner pessimism about the woman. But the woman in question is you.
Yeah.
So it's, but you don't want to hear that. You just want to stay masculine energy.
Yes.
So for what it's worth, it's like, just like there's no way around it for me, there's no way around it for you. Like, yeah, okay, you go and get these surgeries. Okay, great. Now you still have to come into contact with the damn goddess. So it's just like, at a certain point, and the goddess and everything about the woman is everything about, let's be honest, it's everything about submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about nurturing, caring, but it's about submission. When we talk about Sophia, we're talking about a cosmic goddess mother who is left hand and chaotic as hell, having a cosmic fucking orgy.
Yeah.
As much power as we can say that she was holding or wielding, she submitted in that moment. And it wasn't about like a sense of a power struggle going on. It was just,
my battery's dying.
it was literally just energy connecting with energy. So it's like, even a lot of times these ideas that everything's so bad, it's like, I mean, I feel like you're viewing it that way, and you're taking it away from, what it just really is. It's just energy dealing with energy. It's not all this made up crap about, I only want to be like, the Eshu finds comfort in being unionized just as much as it finds comfort in being a Pambajira. But either way it goes, it can manifest itself separately or together. But ultimately, it is what it is, and that's the point.
Yep.
So yeah.
But what kind of misery and health problems would I have with it, though? I mean, like, is it life threatening?
Yes. It's more than life threatening. Oh my gosh.
this is me talking. Backward sorcerers of chaos don't have the ability to rewrite the demiurge's creation. So, despite the fact that these sorcerers on this realm have been able to manipulate science and the light in a capacity where they can create, what they create is hybrids.
Yep.
What they create is phantasms of what could be but isn't really. So if you want to be somewhat of a chimeric hybrid being, just realize that it comes at the expense of using their personal alchemy.
Yeah.
As long as you're down here, and then you are out of balance now and forevermore, and that out of balance will bring you into a space of suffering. I'll be real. Come on, let's. I'm gonna take myself out of the channeling of Lucifer right now. If I chop my fucking dick off and I get an inverted penis made,
Yeah.
I have to keep my fake pussy open, and I have to keep my fake pussy fucking hydrated. And the only way I'm gonna do all of that shit is if I keep using their personal alchemy to keep it hydrated, to keep it from catching bacteria. I'm totally out of balance now.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, I'll put it like this. There's a reason why by the time you turn androgynous, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
The Baphomet doesn't exist in the physical world. And if he does, it's for a very short time period. I'm not even going to go too deep into the suicide rates on the trans movement for men that have transitioned to women. But the suicide rate is high.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to channel androgyny in the physical realm. And it doesn't exist.
Right.
We live in a dual system that sees both genders down here. And the only way you're really going to escape that is by the time you get out. But, get out. And let's be honest. Lucifer isn't trying to be the great mother. And the great mother isn't trying to be Lucifer. Lucifer is just trying to come into union and become androgynous in a space where, hey, I'm androgynous in this moment. But then I manifest myself separately in and of itself in those particular dispensations in time. But it's not a war. It's not seeking to be the woman. I am the woman in androgyny. And Sophia is the man in androgyny. Separated, it's a masculine and a feminine spirit. Together, it just is.
Yeah.
We see separation because we exist within the 3D, so these concepts have to abide by the laws of the 3D and these semi-universal laws. But ultimately, they are what they are when in union. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, probably not gonna like when I say this shit. Regardless of the union that they can come into, what's it called? Through, I guess you could say, heterosexual intercourse. Sodomy is still
the thing that breaks the real. So what I mean by that is this: heterosexual union will bring about the Baphomet, but sodomistic union will still bring about the Baphomet from the perspective of, how do I word this the right way? Because I'm trying to channel this shit right now. Oh my gosh. Within a space where, oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta say this the right way. Oh, I'm trying to say this the right way. I keep getting to a certain point and then the channel stops. So it's like I could say what I want to say, but when I get to a certain point, it just stops, and I'm trying to see that what's past that stopping point. So just give me 1 second. I'll go here. Your war is not in how you can manipulate the body, but in how you can manipulate the mind. If you're still lost in the physical representation, then you're still lost in, and you're still blinded by the light of the demiurge. I seek for you to become balanced in whatever capacity you have to upon the reincarnation cycle that you're upon right now.
Is there a way to get out of the reincarnation cycle?
Of course. Yes.
I'm trying to do that. I'm fearful of having another life. I had a vision that I was going to live in the Middle East. The vision scared the shit out of me.
A vision nonetheless. You're going to break the reincarnation cycle. You've opened up too much forbidden text. Although you have doubts, the only thing we seek for you to do is to break your doubts. But to break your doubts, you need to break your mind and get out of the plots and narratives that the demiurge seeks for you to follow. They're all things to get you right back venerating the body instead of venerating the spirit and the light outside of that body. You mutilating yourself has nothing to do with you ascending yourself. The you that you think you are came here to die. You didn't come for the perfect relationship. You didn't come here to find the perfect mate. You came here to die. And you mutilating yourself will not, for lack of better words, won't proliferate your dying. It will proliferate your suffering in the demiurge's light. Your ascent, or rather descent, will come when you come into total balance with self. And that is why at a certain point, you're coming from the stone of the male, through the moon, through your mind, through your unconscious, through water, through your emotions, through the death gate, through this mental capacity and unconscious that needs to be washed away to come into balance with the feminine.
Wow.
What's your question, though? What's another question you have?
Do they think the serpent ceremony should be Walpurgis night? Because
Say
that's
that.
coming up.
Say that one more time.
Walpurgis night? I think that's what they call it. Walpurgis night.
Talk to me about that, because there's so many traditions.
Oh, because it's, it's coming up. It's the night that the Church of Satan started. Walpurgis night. So it's April 30th, I believe.
You're talking about performing this ceremony before this month ends.
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, do you think that that's, doable? Is it possible? Because that's kind of one of the... Because they mentioned the sacrifice happening on that night. They said that was a good night for that. It's like Halloween. It's basically, it's where the gates of hell are kind of opened and the dead interact with the living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Three heads up, one head down. This is a maybe. I gotta roll again.
Okay.
Three heads down, one head up. This is a no.
Oh, wow.
Regular no. I'm gonna be real. I wanted to ask that, but I was already getting a no.
Oh.
And the reason why, I was getting a no was because, don't get me wrong. You were speaking of the right timing, but for what it's worth, I mean, if we go over here to the Stone of Magic and the Stone of the Present, it's giving an impression that it's not to... I'll put it like this. When I look at the Stone of the Present in Magic, it's in the present, but it's merging into the future. And it's giving this impression that don't rush the magic. The perfect timing is the perfect timing. The first impression I got was that the ceremony should be potentially performed towards the middle of May, potentially even in the months of Jason. You're familiar with the months of Jason?
No.
Okay. Jason is an acronym for July.
Oh, okay.
June. I'm sorry. July, August, September, October, November. I know it's that's damn near 2 months off from now. But I bring this up because of the fact that the months of Jason are, quote unquote, I guess the most diabolical times for magic to be enacted.
Oh, wow.
And
did not know that.
Yeah. So for what it's worth, it's giving... You could wait a little bit longer, build up your power, and then do that ceremony then. But if you did want to, quote unquote, go into it soon, because this is like present going into the future, mid-May towards end of May. If you didn't do it during that time, you could just wait a full 2 months into the months of Jason. And then you, along with other dark sorcerers, y'all all on the planet, even me, I start going crazy with the dark work during the months of Jason myself.
Oh, wow.
It's almost like collective consciousness. Left-hand path dark rituals will be stronger during that time. But yeah, that's what I'm getting.
We could do it in July, yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is just towards you. How much would this cost? The serpent thing.
The serpent.
Yeah.
I'm procuring the serpent. I'm only gonna imagine. Is this a ceremony that you want to do indoors or outdoors?
Probably indoors.
Okay.
Would be fine.
I wanted. Then, if that's the case, then of course I'm gonna be getting a room then, and I'm gonna make the space accordingly.
How do they want it? Do they want it indoors or outdoors?
They want both.
Both.
Sacrifice, you need a fire. You're always gonna channel fire. So indoors and outdoors. Indoors because of the fact that you can be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Precise. Outdoors because you can channel the force of nature and chaos itself.
Would they want it in here?
No. They want a grand altar.
Oh, okay.
So even if it was done in here, it's more so about the space to create that grand altar. I could easily fill this whole damn room up and draw all over this damn floor. You've seen it.
Yeah.
But you would just have to move so much around.
Yeah.
I could be of assistance if you needed that, but it's just be much easier to not even worry about doing it in this space when you could do it somewhere else.
They're probably also thinking about the cats. The cats are going to be
Exactly.
an issue.
So, for what it's worth, what's your next question?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you asked me how much. I'm giving you a major discount because I'm not really gonna do this. I don't even want to say this, nigga. 666.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really want to say 7, but 666.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome. Oh, I like that. 666.
So, yeah. For what it's worth, that's pretty much it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
To do this in a fashion which I usually do alone. I'm not always channeling with other people. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
I'm doing it by myself, and I'm kind of in my own devices. But hey, when you can gather around brothers and sisters and Lucifer, like I said, it's always nice.
Yeah. Do you know of anybody else that practices this stuff here?
Here,
Yeah.
there's a couple, but to be honest with you, there are more students than they are practitioners like us. They're people who want to learn. I've met a lot of people at events and things that wanted to get involved with this,
Yeah.
but they're not astute like us. They're like some preliminary beginner level, like, oh my gosh, it looks cool, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, I just want to learn, guys. Like, it's more so like that. It's
Oh, yeah.
over the years I've met a lot more conscious and metaphysical spiritual people than like outright Gnostic Luciferians. So if you're looking for a spiritual crowd of people that are fucking getting into meditation circles and
Yeah.
om bowls and all that light work shit,
Yeah.
I got plenty of that. I could I got a group right now that you could get involved with. But this Luciferian Gnosticism, I've met more people who are of a mindset who want to learn this shit. They're not of the mindset of like, I have the knowledge that me and you have. If anything, I wouldn't even point you into their direction, to be honest with you. I have people that outside of here that I could potentially connect you with that are of this mindset, that I talk to regularly as well, that are Luciferians, Gnostics as well. I have a few that I could connect you with, but they're not.
They're not in the DMV?
They're not in the DMV.
Oh. You know anybody in Virginia? Because, I mean...
I couldn't even say that I do. I couldn't even say
Yeah.
that I do.
Okay.
Like, the by the time I was closing my shop down, I literally was starting to get people like you coming through.
Yeah.
I was getting more light workers than anything coming through my shop.
Mm-hmm.
People who just wanted pendants. People who weren't necessarily serious. When you were one of the, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, you actually knew what you were looking at when you looked at my website.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't, like, most people, it's like, Kimbanda Spirit Box. What the hell is Kimbanda? Well, he's spiritual. That's good enough for me. I'll come through. Like,
yeah.
It's really cut and dry. So it's like, I definitely met a few people like you, but it was, even if I'm, like, before I'll meet a Luciferian, I'll meet somebody who's in Ifa or Palomeombe.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a family upon the left hand, but I'm not Palomeombe. I'm not.
No, I'm not either.
And it's just, I've met Kimbanda practitioners and Goetic practitioners who went down that Palomeombe gate, and they found themselves leaving that to find themselves right back into Kimbanda and Luciferianism. Apollo is not for everybody. I know I'm not. No. I'm not taking orders. You got to take too many orders.
Yeah.
And it's a left-hand path, but it just feels like it don't feel left-hand to me. It feels like, or rather, it's left-hand, but you're taking too many orders.
Yeah.
And it's not from entities. It's from a body of people who have, like, been wearing these deific masks. And now they're standing as the supreme high rulers between you and the entity. And that's fine, because I do think that you got to go through a house to practice Palomeombe. I don't think that you should just go into that shit without... This isn't like Luciferianism where I feel like you can throw darts and play around with this magic. I think you will fuck your whole life up. Just like you very well will with this.
Yeah.
But I think you will fuck your whole life up if you try to fuck with Palomeombe. There's a certain level of, I mean, I think you know this just as well as I do, non-caring that these entities have for humanity in the first place. It's like, motherfucker, you're in the light. Who cares about you? So unless you can channel the light, it's like, I don't really give a damn.
They say the same thing about Kimbanda, though, too. You're not allowed to do Kimbanda unless you're in a house. Like, unless you're initiated.
I'll put it like this. There's eclectic ways of going into the practice of Kimbanda. What's it called? Kimbanda... What's it called? Oh my goodness. Kimbanda is an offshoot of Gnosticism and Kabbalism. And you definitely did not need a house to go into Kabbalism.
Yeah.
So that's why when I hear certain things, I'm like, are you coming at this from a purely Kimbanda aspect where it's not connected to its Gnostic and Congo and
fucking and
Brazilian.
occult kind
Yeah.
of roots, where it was somewhat folk magic at the same time. Like there was a certain point where Kimbanda came into a space where it was like, yeah, you had to go through a house. But it's kind of like Obeah. Nobody can teach you Obeah.
Yeah.
Obeah calls you. You know, so that's kind of how it is with Kimbanda. I was called to Kimbanda. I was gifted my Eshume Anoite.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know I was going to even go that route. I was gifted Eshume Anoite, a statue one day, and it was like, this is your Eshu. It was like, well, okay. And then I got
Who gave it to you? Wow.
It was my first baby mother who was initiated into Palameombe and Kimbanda. She's been initiated into both. She went to Brazil to be initiated into Kimbanda.
Oh.
And she was initiated into Palameombe as well.
You still speak to her?
I have a son with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got.
Where does she live?
Down south, South Carolina. So for what it's worth, you know, that's what it is. She gifted it to me, you know, and I know it's just like, you know, well, she cared. I was studying the occult, but I wasn't even, for what it's worth, Kimbanda was known, but it wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
So when I came into receiving the statue, it was like, okay, let's go into this. What the fuck is this so special for? Why was I gifted this? Oh, wait a minute. This connects to Gnosticism? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This connects to Kabbalah? Oh, wait. This synchronized with the Galatians?
Yeah, see?
Yo,
It all
am I
comes together.
tripping? Like, so it was like,
Yep.
it was, and despite some of the, I guess you could say at times, I don't even want to say bad luck, but I guess ill happenings that have occurred throughout working with these entities,
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop. Until I mastered the Eshu and the Pambajir, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
And I'm closer than ever to the gate. And to be honest with you, I've been procured by one of my clients right now to open all the 7 kingdoms to Kimbanda. So that's a ceremony that I'm actually in the midst of, like, procuring to finish for a client right now. So it's like,
Wow. Yeah.
you know, for what it's worth, I'm only, wow, we stayed throughout the whole thing. I wasn't, you know, these usually burn out for 3 to 4 hours, so it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
it ain't been 3 to 4 hours yet, so cool.
Yep.
I saw that means energy's going well.
Yep.
So for what it's worth, yeah,
Yep.
that's my stance.
Well, and see, that's the thing. They reached out to me first. Like, I didn't really, you know, I didn't get into Kimbanda until, like, they started, you know, these spirits.
I was damn near.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I swear I was at least, my goodness, maybe 12, maybe 13 years in. Before, like,
Yeah.
it was put on my radar that all of this shit connected. So it was like, oh. And it was crazy because it's like I had heard about, like I said, I knew about Kimbanda, but it wasn't on my radar. Like, it was, despite researching all the things I had researched into, I just hadn't, it just was one of those things that always just got past me. And
Have you seen this book? So, like, if you look at the very end, he compares the Grimoire Verum with the Kimbanda. So that's how I started, like, kind of getting into it.
okay, Verum in the Brazilian cult of the
See, this is the shit, man. I need. What's this book called?
True Grimoire.
The True Grimoire. Yeah, you've put this in my hand before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it occurred to me that like these same spirits spoke to me, and then all of a sudden one day I woke up and I had this sense of urgency that I had to go to New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was them saying, "Okay, we need you to go to New Orleans."
You gotta understand, it was one of the biggest ports in this country.
Yeah.
And shit, it's not close to motherfucking South America.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you choose that route to go to New Orleans, you're definitely.
It sounds like I don't have a choice. I mean, if I want to continue, building myself up, I'm going to have to.
Oh yeah, I had to go through that dark gate. I won't go back again. I'm straight. All of that shit. But I'm definitely I definitely go back for the perspective of doing ritual and of course, psychic events.
Yeah. So where are you gonna go to next?
Like I told you, I'm moving back now south. One for my son. And one because I want to get I want to get back to even though I was channeling Lucifer earlier, this is something that, my spirit is directing me to. I want to get back to the slowness of down south, the privacy of down south.
Well, we are in South, but you want to get closer to the Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get closer to where it's, there's country up here.
Yeah.
But it's not the country like down south where it's like, I still feel like there's this sense of, I still feel like this is city country.
Yeah.
Like Laurel, I don't feel like I'm in the country like when I'm in like Orangeburg, South Carolina. It's like, it feels like I'm secluded. I'm in privacy. I'm around all these woods. I can go into the woods. I could go park on the side of the road and not, like I said, it's still the city, even though it's country, it's in certain areas. So like if you park on the side of the road, you might come back that same day after getting out the woods to a sticker on your car from a cop. And it's like certain shit is just, it just doesn't happen down south.
Right,
you know, and it's just like, that's what I'm going back to. I want to personally go, before I even came up here and moved to the DMV, I literally was on the verge of getting a church originally. Like, before I even had got the spiritual shop I did get, before I closed it down and then ended up moving up here, if I had just reached back out to this, because I was in cahoots and talks with this woman about her church, and we had already worked out a deal. I just didn't close with her fast enough, and somebody else came.
Oh, wow.
If I hadn't waited and I just kept on that sense of urgency, because I had already had the numbers about how, like, the monthly rent and how the mortgage was going to be allotted, and I say mortgage, rent, same shit, was going to be allotted per month. Like, I would have owned this shit, and I would have never even came up here.
Yeah.
And I would have, not only would I have never came up here, I would have already owned the church, because the way the payments was going to be, I would have owned that church in 3 years.
Wow.
3.5, give or take.